Hey y'all, what's going on? Jared Sandler with you, getting ready for the Rangers and the A's tonight, broadcasting right now from Nana's house with cousin Joey over my right shoulder. All right, so a few things we got to get to. Let's start with Joey Gallo. Didn't address this yesterday. Broken hamate bone, or if you're T.R. Sullivan, broken hamster bone. He'll be out for at least 4 weeks, probably closer to 6, could be more. The good news about that injury is it's not one that has any sort of lasting, lingering impact. Basically, what they do is they remove the hamate bone. It's a pretty non-essential bone. I think might have shared this on air the other day, but it's actually one of those injuries that some guys have half jokingly, half not jokingly talked about having the operation to just have it removed in the off season, so they don't even have to risk dealing with that during the season. So Joey should be more than ready for off-season workouts, have a full off-season. He's not going to have an off-season spent recovering from an injury. He'll have an off-season spent building on what he's done this year and certainly ready for spring training. Now, whether or not he gets big league at-bats again this year remains to be seen. I think the hope and the belief at this point is that that will happen, but you never know. But the good news, again, is that not only will he be ready for spring training, but I think it gets overlooked sometimes, but it is important when these athletes have an off-season not to just recover, but to get better. So that's the good news. Again, the bad news is that the majority of what's left of the season will be played without Joey Gallo. Overall, while availability is a big ability, when Joey was healthy and playing, I think you got to call this season an A for him. I mean, he made several significant jumps. The thing that I love the most, whether he was surging or slumping, the chase rate remained low. He was among the best in Major League Baseball at laying off pitches out of the zone. And that's coming from a guy who last year was among the worst in that department. You know, what's next for Joey Gallo? To improve on pitches within the zone. He still swings and misses a lot, but the misconception is that he swings and misses at bad pitches. He'll chase above the zone every once in a while, but he really misses within the zone, which, there's good and bad to that, but I think that's the next step, and hopefully that's something he conquers this offseason. All right, let's get to Danny Santana. 6 RBIs last night, another 3-hit game. When Danny Santana was with the Rangers in spring training, he had a good spring, and I remember thinking, nice spring, whatever. Comes up in April, starts hitting, keeps hitting. And you think, all right, we see this every year. There are always, 5 to 10 guys who you don't expect anything out of, and they get off to great starts, and then whoop. So when May happened and Danny Santana didn't hit as well, he hit 240 and had a 720 OPS, but the at-bats just weren't as competitive. You kind of thought, all right, well, May wasn't good, June's not going to be any better, and, Danny Santana was a nice story. No. It was really good in June, and he's been even better in July. It's impressive what he's done. I think the key for me with Danny, not to oversimplify things, because there are a lot of things that go in all this, but hitting the fastball has been huge. 2014 was a good year for Danny. He finished 7th in Rookie of the Year voting. He actually finished ahead of George Springer. The Twins kind of build him out as a center fielder of the future, leadoff hitter on opening day. Wasn't good in 15, and that kind of put an end to his trajectory as a guy that you can build around. 15, 16, 17, 18. Danny Santana couldn't touch the fastball. Really struggled. Worked on hand placement. Worked on being shorter to the ball this offseason. He's crushing fastballs. He's hitting around 400 against fastballs with a high slug. That's been a big key to his success. Now, one concern about Danny, it's obviously he's not Mike Trout, so where are the holes? He'll chase low. He is susceptible low. We have a lot of hitters these days who are susceptible high. Danny's actually susceptible low. His chase numbers below the zone are a little higher than you'd like. He don't walk much. Only 11 walks, I think. On one hand, the thought is, all right, well, as Danny continues to show he's as good of a hitter as he showed, he'll start to get more respect, and he'll start to have pitchers maybe work around him a little bit, and at that point, maybe the walks will go up. On the other hand, a lot of people look at Danny and see he's just a very aggressive swinger. He's got really quick hands, and so it allows him to wait a little bit longer to commit to swinging. And so because of that, in combination with really good hand-eye, it puts the ball in play a lot. You'd like to see him walk more, but that's something that you can work on. That's not something that is permanent. That's going to go unchanged. So a lot to like about Danny Santana. Could he be moved between now and the deadline? Yeah, he could be. But I don't know that the Rangers are actively trying to move him. I don't think they're going to let Danny Santana get in the way of bringing in some awesome haul that's going to help the organization grow. But I also don't think the Rangers are trying to get rid of Danny Santana. I think Danny Santana can be a part of the mix next year and maybe beyond that. So for the crowd that say, well, there are a lot of guys who have great years and then they don't ever repeat that. Is Danny Santana that guy? Well, let's look at it from a few different perspectives. One, is there a chance that this is the best year of Danny Santana's career and will remain as such for the next decade? Yeah. But with how good he's been, he can take a step down and still be a good player. I mean, he's just been that good. So as the league makes adjustments to Danny, could Danny make some adjustments back and still end up being a really good player? Sure. There is a precedent for guys like Danny who kind of fall off the face of the baseball earth and then come back and all of a sudden have really good careers. There's a guy in Boston, J.D. Martinez. He was DFA'd by the Astros. And he's one of the best hitters in baseball. I'm not saying Danny Santana will be one of the best hitters in baseball to the degree that J.D. Martinez has established himself, but Danny's young. It's not like he's 33 and all of a sudden showing up. I mean, this is a guy who was a highly sought-after young player, international player, had a great debut year, and just struggled to make adjustments. But 28 years old, things have clicked. So there's a chance that Danny could be, a guy it really is a contributor for years to come. Now, the other side of it, yeah, he could be. I mean, there's, there are plenty of people who I'm sure out there believe that this is a great year for Danny, but don't expect it next year. Don't expect it ever again. And that's fair. I mean, unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there whose careers kind of follow that path. I think that with Danny's athleticism and his versatility, he's going to be a valuable player. MVP type value? I don't think that, but I think he'll be a valuable player. And it's exciting this year that, as you think about the future and guys who can be a part of the future, Danny could be a part of it. All right, next time, tomorrow, or whenever we're able to post this again, we're going to talk about Elvis Andrus. A lot to unpack with Elvis. But tonight, Rangers-A's, 8:30 pregame, first pitch just past 9, 105.3 The Fan, and the Texas Rangers Radio Network. Talk to you then.